Welcome to Turning the Verge. I'm Crystal Nettles, and here with me today are
Jesse Latour.
And I'm Tony Bob.
And we're with Hubbleton Art Gallery in Fullerton.
Well, welcome, you guys. Thanks for joining us. So how did you get your start in working with a gallery? Or for a gallery, I should say.
Yeah, me and Tony were roommates for a couple years, and we actually lived in an apartment that was above a photography studio and a restaurant. And the photography studio went out of business, and so we were walking by one day, and Tony's an artist, and I'm an English teacher and a writer, and we were thinking it'd be kind of fun to open that up as a creative space, as a studio. And so we talked to some other friends who were also interested in art and formed kind of a little collective of 6 people actually that own the gallery, and we opened about a little less than a year and a half ago.
Oh wow, and where is it located?
Okay, I gotcha.
It's located in downtown Fullerton. It's right off of Harbor. It's on Wilshire, so it's kind of right in the heart of downtown Fullerton.
Oh, really nice. So what kind of gave you this idea? I know you kind of walked by, you saw the space, but is it something that you've always thought about doing?
I don't think we ever thought about like running a gallery.
Mm-hmm.
We just wanted to have a creative space more or so. But once we found out like the pricing and like the rent, we needed to bring some other people in, and collectively it just became a gallery. So ever since then, it's like kind of figuring out like our like little roles and stuff to play in this like collective thing that we've all done together.
So how'd you come up with the name?
It's not the Urban Dictionary, and it means like a group of guys that.
But it's a collection of people that exude awesomeness, but only when necessary.
And is that word for word how it reads in the dictionary there?
I think that's about what it is. Yeah.
I like that word.
Yeah.
I think that should be my new favorite word now.
Well, Tony had a bike club previously called Hubbleton Bike Club.
Yeah.
And he's really into biking, so we kind of adopted that name for the gallery.
And stole it.
Yes.
Kind of.
And they don't mind that or was it your bike club?
It was kind of a collaborative bike club, but it kind of died already, so we just took that name and gave it some new life.
So it's not bad luck or anything.
No,
it's not going to rub off on you.
I think we still have another member in our gallery that was part of the bike club. So.
Oh wow! Yeah. So were all you guys just friends before? You've known each other for a while?
Yeah, 3 of us were me, Tony, and then another one of the owners, Landon. We were all roommates at the time, and then another friend, Chuck Oldfield, just a mutual friend. Another friend, Ben Pham, who's a longtime friend of Tony's, and friend RJ Ciccolone, another guy. And we all have kind of different backgrounds. We have like other jobs and interests. Chuck does film stuff. Tony's a graphic designer. Ben does graphic design and like web design. So it kind of became this. And then Landon's kind of went to business school, so he knows about that stuff, which none of us really know about. So.
Oh wow, that's really nice to kind of have everyone's skills kind of come together to be able to run the place smoothly.
Yeah.
So what do you do other than run a gallery?
I'm an English teacher, so I teach adjunct English at Cal State Fullerton and Fullerton College.
My alma mater.
Nice. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's where
Can I say that you kind of look like an English teacher? Or you look like a teacher?
Yeah, I think it's the cardigan vibe, it's the corduroy pants.
It's the little Mr. Rogers thing going on. But that's a compliment, because I love Mr. Rogers. Well, I did.
As do I.
Gone
Still
now. And what about you? Graphic design, I hear you're also an artist.
Yeah, I went to Cal State Fullerton as well and graduated about 2 years ago. Just been working for a couple different companies. Right now I'm just doing a lot of freelance work, illustrations in like the skateboard industry mainly.
Oh wow. And is this something that you've done your whole life?
Yeah, I started art when I was like probably 14. I started like silk screening at first, so I got into art through like skateboard graphics and snowboard graphics. So a lot of my imagery and stuff is really flat because of like the screen printing processes. And that just, started college and didn't really know what to do, and I was always drawing at the time, so I just decided to take art.
Oh, and do you skateboard? Do you snowboard as well?
I used to a long time ago, but not anymore. I'm just kind of older now. My bones are fragile. And I don't have
Okay, that's really bad if you're considered old. Although I I understand, because I get up in the morning and I hear things creaking, and it's like, that's not supposed to happen. I'm still young. Like, wow, in 10 years, it's going to be really bad.
Yeah. I drink a lot of milk these days.
Does a body good.
Yeah, it does.
So are any of your pieces hanging in the gallery?
No, I mostly do like kind of the back-end design work for the gallery, and along with my friend Ben, we haven't put any of my pieces in there. I don't think we're going to. I don't know.
We had this kind of like spoken rule that like we don't show like any of our own work. We just kind of like showcase and curate other shows kind of things.
So what kind of things are there?
It's all different. I mean, I guess we have different names to kind of describe it. I guess you could sort of call it maybe lowbrow or I don't know.
Pop surrealist.
Pop surrealist, yeah. So
I mean, being that we're the only gallery in Fullerton, we try to bring like a variety of different mediums and different kinds of art into the area, try to build a community out there. So we try to showcase a lot of different artists in this area, and as well as like we've had people from Australia and United Kingdom show, and it's just like an eclectic, I guess, art gallery.
Oh wow. Yeah. And now if someone wanted to showcase their work, how do they do that?
We take submissions. We have a website, Hubbleton.com, and then we do a lot of like seeking people out. We'll like just kind of follow like blogs and magazines and stuff. For example, we curated a show last fall that was all done through Flickr, the online photo website. So we found all these artists that had their work on there, and it was like a big international show. We had work from like Colombia and Spain and Australia and just all over the world.
Oh wow, that's kind of neat that you find people to kind of showcase. So you mentioned it's the only art gallery in Fullerton, but does Orange County have a big art scene?
It's more, I think, of like the South Orange County art scene. Like in Laguna Beach, they have an art scene, and even in Huntington and like Newport. But I don't think there's anything like north of Costa Mesa, I feel like. So I think we're the only gallery actually in this area.
Oh wow!
And Santa Ana, but then they have their own,
more museum type of thing. Oh wow! And now you guys have a current showcase going on in October, correct? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So this month we have it was actually two artists from that Flickr show that we did. They were really popular, Sarah McNeil and Sean Morris, and they're from Australia. And they what they had done is they collaborated via the internet. So like one lived in like Perth and one lived in Melbourne, like kind of opposite ends of Australia. And they would collaborate, like they would send each other their drawings, and they would like do these collaborative pieces. And for this show, they actually met up like for the first time and like worked on like the same piece to get different pieces together. So it's a pretty neat show. It's just kind of simple illustrations, but there's kind of a sense of kind of humor and irony and silliness to them too.
So for someone like me who has no background in art, doesn't understand the little definitions types of things, is it a place where I would enjoy going, looking at the different pieces? Or do you have to know about art to really enjoy it?
That's kind of our vibe that we want, is kind of to be sort of unpretentious. We want to have like art that people can just walk in and and enjoy it. And like a lot of the pieces that we have, I was talking about kind of lowbrow, meaning like there's usually a sense of humor or kind of irony or silliness or something that most people could just walk in and not be able to say like that's like postmodern or something, but they would still enjoy it.
That would be me. Like, oh, that's a pretty picture. Now, is it all painting or drawing, sculpture? What is showcased?
I think we've done all of those things. We also have we've had tapestry work in there. We've had installation pieces with like just art on the walls, nothing to buy. We've had what else? We have some multimedia like video art in there as well.
Oh wow, a little bit of everything. And now are you guys open 7 days a week, or if people want to go, when can they go?
We're open Thursday through Sunday. So we have one of the limitations that we all have other jobs kind of thing. So that's so we're open Thursday through Sunday. Thursday 1 to 6, Friday, Saturday 1 to 10, Sunday 1 to 6. But we're actually looking for we've got a couple interns, and we're looking to maybe expand our hours a little bit. Get some people to volunteer and help out. So.
Well, hopefully maybe somebody's watching right now. If you guys are watching and you're interested in helping them, you love art, what are they going to do? How do they contact you?
Probably through our website. There's an email on there where people can submit art, but they could also just email us if they're interested in helping out.
Yeah, posting on the blog. You can just start a discussion or something like that, start some dialogue, and we'll answer your questions and, go from there.
Yeah.
So what do you guys talk about on your blog?
All things funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, a lot of the postings are just kind of like, promotional stuff, like shows we got going on. We do like different events too, like music events or like poetry readings and stuff. Like we've collaborated with Cal State Fullerton to do, they have a creative writing club, so they bring some like poets in, and so just different events, like we'll post those on the blog, and photos from openings and stuff like that.
Now you mentioned you can email submissions. How can you really tell what something is like based on a photo in an email?
That's a good point. I guess you can't exactly. I mean, you can't get things like texture and stuff, but we get a sense, of what we like.
Even in their artist statement, and even though the pieces that they might send in don't fit for some certain show, we can definitely respect it, and then maybe just curate another show around what they're going to do. So we just have this huge file now of different artists that have submitted to the gallery, and we definitely keep them all in check and bring them up every once in a while to see if we can do something with them.
Mm-hmm. So you guys sound like you're pretty busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. What's a typical day like for you?
Well, for me, I'm a teacher, so I teach. I usually go to class. I have 2 classes a day, so I'll teach my classes, and then kind of in the interval, I'll do I'm more of kind of the press for each of the shows and promote things on Facebook and stuff. So I'm kind of communicating with artists, in my downtime, along with setting up and taking down shows and random responsibilities. Yeah.
So do you ever have people in one of your classes, you talk to them about gallery and they show up, or any of the artists and they kind of want to be in any of your classes?
I do actually. Yeah, I actually offer my classes extra credit if they come to our openings. So I say, if you write a one-page, reaction, what you thought about the artwork. So that's actually brought a number of students, and I had one student who was an artist herself, and we did this handmade sale last winter, kind of a holiday handmade sale, and she ended up having a booth there and being involved in it. So.
Oh wow.
That was cool.
And what about you?
I work really late. I usually draw and paint at night, so I don't go to bed till 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I wake up at 1 o'clock and get some coffee and start my day
Wow.
again. So right now I'm just doing a lot of freelance design work, a little bit of web design, mostly print stuff, mostly branding for different companies. I have my own website and a collaborative website that I update constantly and just send out to different companies and try to get new work. But yeah, being unemployed
Wow.
right now. Really
Yeah, it's not fun. I can't imagine. I just can't believe you stay up that late. I mean, when I have to wake up when it's dark out, that's incredibly hard. So the fact that you just live most of your life in the dark.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, living in downtown Fullerton, it's pretty noisy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, people usually leave the bars around 3 in the morning, so that's going to keep me up anyway. So I just decided to shift my schedule and work in a different.
Wow. And you guys are still living above the gallery?
I do. Tony lives actually kind of across the street now, so he got it.
No
different
longer
place.
roommates?
Not anymore, but
All good things come to an end.
yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
So I want to learn a little bit more about you guys. Tell me about your childhood. Did anything happen in your childhood that kind of led you to where you are today?
That's a good question. Well, I was born in Wisconsin. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I've never met anyone from Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, yeah, cheese heads.
That's kind of all they're really known for.
Yeah, cheese and the Green Bay
Yeah.
Packers and cold winters. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as far as what led me to art, I don't know. Actually, I took some classes at Fullerton College when I was kind of my early days of college. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was like, I'll take a jazz class, I'll take a art class, I'll take a history. Just kind of random exploring, and I found that I liked art. I'm not as serious of an artist as Tony. I do more writing, but that's how I got interested anyway.
So how long have you been in California?
I was 7 when I moved here, so I pretty much grew up around, actually in Fullerton for most of my life. So I had this devotion to Fullerton. Yeah.
That's good. And what about you, Tony?
I grew up in Orange County, lived here my whole life, and grew up in, I guess, action sports with all those graphics around me. So I was always drawing different logos for different companies that I liked, so that's what really got me into design. And when t-shirts came around and just seeing a lot of graphic t-shirts come around, I just wanted to be a part of that community and started doing t-shirts on my own when I was about 14, I say. And started like a couple little t-shirt companies, you know, what you do when you're a little kid. And it just went from there and got my degree in it, and that's about it.
That's kind of neat because you hear the dreams of kids or teenagers saying what they want to do, and so many times it changes, but the fact that you knew what you wanted to do from such a young age and you're actually doing it is quite admirable. Were your parents supportive?
My mom, yes. My dad, no. He wanted me to be an engineer, so he's just very like into stability, in which I can totally understand, but I'm not. So I just went the artist route, and it's nice. I'm the artist in the family.
Which is nice, and I'm sure being a graphic designer and having that skill, has that ever come in handy for your family at all? Or
yeah, they always ask me to like lay books out for them and like do family portraits and stuff like that, and use my art directing skills to like take the big family photos, because we have a really big family, and they've supportive in that way.
when they want something.
Yeah, when they want something,
right?
It's like, okay, we can use your talents.
So is your work, any of the stuff that you've done in the past, is the public able to see it anywhere
Yeah,
currently?
I have a website. It's called phonytony.com, and you can check out all my work there. And I also have a collaborative website with a company I work with right now called the Steam Locomotive, and you can check out some of our work there as well.
So how do you come up with Phony Tony?
Because I feel like design is kind of like a lie. It's like you're just, you're embellishing like a package to sell to someone. So I feel like all design is just a fake anyways. It's like you're really selling the same product as everyone else, except you're making it prettier so that other people would want to buy it. So that's why I came up with that name.
Wow. So when you go shopping and you see labels on different products, does it, what do you think?
So I buy like generic brand anyways. But yeah, I mean, I definitely can see why.
Do you critique things?
Oh, all the time. All the time.
And what about you? Are you a slave to advertising, or do you critique things like him?
I try to be more critical of things. I mean, actually, I have my students write essays where they analyze ads and look at the strategies that people use to try to like pull people in, and so I try to be aware of. I guess I'm not a slave to advertising. I don't think so.
What other things do you teach in your classes? It's kind of the subject matter.
Yeah, it's well, I teach mainly composition, so it's like writing essays. So like narrative essays. Like that's a lot of the writing that I do. Personally, it's just kind of like narrative type, telling stories and stuff, and then some like research papers and argument type essays and literary analysis papers and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So you have to be honest with me. Do you think students are smarter or dumber now than they were when you were in school?
That's a good question. Well, I don't think it's a matter of intelligence necessarily, but I do think that like text messaging, like the language of text messaging, is like this whole new like vocabulary that's come into this generation, and so I see that like creeping into my students' papers, where they'll like condense words or like make words that aren't real words, in their papers.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah. So.
I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
And do they think that that's actual English?
I see it in there. Yeah, they put it in there. I have to, circle it in red and tell them it's not a word. But
So do you like disciplining people, or do you not like confrontation?
I'm getting a little better at that. I mean, I guess as a teacher, you got to be a little bit authoritative, but because it's college, it's a little more laid back, and I'm not like a super dominating personality. I don't think so.
You seem very calm.
Yeah.
And focused and soft spoken and things like that.
Yeah, I try to be. I like to just be myself and give them readings and things that I think are good, and hopefully inspire them in that way. So.
Well, if you guys would like to be inspired and check out some of the work, where's the website again?
Hubbleton.com.
And where are you guys located?
In downtown Fullerton.
Downtown Fullerton. So check out the website, get the address, get the hours, check out some of this stuff, and go visit these guys at their gallery.
Certainly,